In this life, the only thing to fear is not putting in the effort. There is nothing that cannot be achieved. This is an important lesson about willpower, determination, and belief in one's own abilities. The power of effort. In reality, every success begins with effort. Those who achieve great accomplishments do not do so by chance, but by persevering through adversity. Example: a farmer who plants seeds must care for them every day, regardless of rain, wind, or drought. Without perseverance, the harvest will fail. The fear of not trying, not putting in effort is like trapping oneself in a safe zone. The most frightening thing is not failure, but never trying to move forward. Buddhism teaches that all outcomes arise from causes and conditions. Cause is the effort of the individual. The Buddha once taught that each person is the master of their own karma. No one can save us unless we save ourselves. The Dhammapada says, "You do evil yourself. You defile yourself. You do not do evil yourself. You purify yourself." Purity or impurity is self-made. No one can purify another. Condition is the environment and opportunities around. Even if the conditions are favorable, if one does not plant the seed of effort, nothing will bear fruit. Let's further clarify this perspective. Recognizing the mindset of laziness, most of us are often hindered by the feeling of reluctance to face difficulties, to change, or to take risks. But if we can overcome this barrier, we will find our potential is greater than we imagined. A lesson from Buddhism: the Buddha did not attain enlightenment immediately. He spent many lifetimes in practice, and in his final life, he endured 6 years of severe asceticism before discovering the middle path to enlightenment. This demonstrates that even an enlightened being requires effort. There is a Buddhist story about a man who wanted to leave his family to seek the Dharma. He walked thousands of miles, enduring countless hardships, but when he arrived, the Buddha taught him, "You do not need to go far. The Buddha is within your heart. Simply make the effort to transform yourself and cultivate your mind. This is the Dharma." The man realized that what he lacked was not the path to the Dharma, but the effort to cultivate himself. This story reminds us that success does not come from mere dreams or wishes. It is the result of persistent action every day. Do not fear failure, but fear never trying. The journey of life and the practice of the Dharma are the same. We must make the effort from within, from how we perceive, think, and act. Therefore, instead of finding excuses to give up, focus on how you can move forward. As the old saying goes, constant effort in grinding iron will eventually turn it into a needle. The most beautiful appearance of a person is the image when they are truly making an effort. This phrase carries a profound philosophy, highlighting the most authentic value of a human being. Meaning from the perspective of life. Beauty from within. In life, beauty does not only come from physical appearance but is also expressed through spirit, will, and effort. When a person puts forth their best to achieve a goal, the light from their passion and persistence shines through, making them radiant. Example: a mother works tirelessly day and night to raise her children well. That image, although weary, holds a noble beauty that nothing can compare to. Shining through determination, when we make an effort, we push beyond our limits. This not only helps us grow but also spreads positive energy to those around us. Buddhism always emphasizes that true beauty lies in the heart and actions. The beauty of effort. The Buddha underwent a 6-year journey of austerities and eventually attained enlightenment under the Bodhi tree. In those moments, he not only displayed extraordinary effort but also radiated the beauty of wisdom and compassion. The Dhammapada says, "You yourself must make the effort, be diligent and tireless." When we strive, the beauty of awakening and diligence shines brighter than ever. Action is merit. Every effort sows good seeds, leading to good outcomes. The image of effort is a living testament to a person who is planting merit and taking charge of their own life. Why is effort the most beautiful appearance? The image of effort is the truest. It is when we are not pretending, not seeking recognition from others. It is just a heart full of passion, hands at work, and a determined will. Beauty from sweat and perseverance. Beautiful people are not those who never stumble but those who rise and continue fighting. Example: the image of an athlete sweating on the training field, a diligent worker in the field, or a student studying late into the night. Each of these brings inspiration and true beauty. There is a Buddhist story about a stone carver. The carver worked tirelessly day and night, chiseling away at large blocks of stone to create a statue of the Buddha. He worked without rest, his hands calloused, his clothes dirty. A passerby asked, "Why do you work so hard? Does anyone see your effort?" The carver smiled and replied, "I don't work for praise from others. I work to make my heart more beautiful every day." When the statue was completed, people marveled at its beauty. But in truth, it was the image of the carver, with his relentless effort, that was the most beautiful statue. The most beautiful appearance is not about external form, but about the spirit of effort from within. When we contribute, when we are determined, every action we take becomes a symphony of life. Learning from Buddhism, every effort is a virtuous act, helping us accumulate merit and move closer to enlightenment. So, ask yourself, have I made an effort today to become a better version of myself? No matter the outcome, the effort you make is the most beautiful gift you can give to life. Just a little further to go. You've worked hard the whole way, now push a little more. In life, there are plenty of people who strive, but few who strive all the way through. This message carries a powerful lesson about perseverance and resilience. The moment near the finish line is often the hardest. As we near the end of our journey, fatigue and pressure make it easy to give up. Yet, this is precisely when we need to press on the most, for just one more step will reward all the effort that has come before. Example: a marathon runner often feels completely exhausted near the finish line, but if they stop there, all the effort invested up to that point will be in vain. The difference between success and failure: many people start with determination, but only a few endure to the end. Success belongs to those who push through their final limits. Buddhism teaches that liberation and enlightenment are not easy. They demand relentless effort until the very end. Persistence to the last step. The Buddha taught, there is no path to peace without effort. Many stop when facing the final challenges, not realizing that liberation is so close. The difference in karma: persisting until the end is the greatest act of accumulating merit. It's like planting a seed. If you give up before the tree bears fruit, all your care will have been in vain. The gap between close to the goal and reaching the goal, just a little more, but that small distance is decisive. It's the difference between leaving a lasting mark or simply falling short. Example: a student who has stayed up late studying for a week, but gives up just before the exam due to pressure. They were so close to reaching their goal, but just lacked that final push and lost their opportunity. The psychological challenge: as we near the finish line, we are easily tempted by thoughts like just rest a little, or this is enough. But if we can push past that psychological barrier, we'll find ourselves much stronger. There's a Buddhist story about a farmer digging a well. A farmer was determined to dig a well to provide water for his family. He dug deep, but when he was near the water source, exhaustion made him want to quit. A passerby said to him, "Just one more shovel, and the water will flow." The farmer listened, and indeed, with that final dig, the fresh water began to pour. This story underscores that perseverance isn't just a key factor in success, it also determines whether we receive our blessing. Success does not come from partial effort, but from relentless persistence to the final step. The journey of learning is no different. It's not just about beginning, but about reaching the end of the path to enlightenment. The final difficulties are the greatest challenges, but overcoming them leads to liberation. Remember, just a little further is when your willpower is tested. Just one more step, and you'll reach where you want to go. So, if you're feeling tired or tempted to quit, remind yourself, the goal is right ahead. Don't let the effort of the whole journey go to waste by giving up too soon. If you're tired, take a short break, but then get up and keep going. You have the right to rest. You can go slowly, but never give up. This is a gentle yet profound reminder encouraging patience and persistence on the journey of life. Rest is not failure. In life, sometimes pressure and fatigue make us want to stop. But resting is a way to recharge, not a sign of weakness. It's the moment to replenish your energy for the longer road ahead. Example: a mountain climber might collapse before reaching the summit if they refuse to stop and rest. However, if they know when to pause, take in the view, and recover, they'll have the strength to conquer the peak. Slow but steady is better than giving up. Life doesn't always demand you to rush. What matters most is that you don't completely stop. Every step, even if slow, brings you closer to your goal. Example: a student struggling with studies might choose to lighten their course load and focus little by little. Though slower than others, with perseverance, they eventually graduate and achieve their dream. The spirit of self-regulation. Buddhism teaches that the mind needs balance between effort and rest. The Buddha once compared the practice of meditation to the tension of a string on a musical instrument. If the string is too loose, it won't sound, but if it's too tight, it will snap. Thus, rest is essential to maintain sustainability. In the Anguttara Nikaya, the Buddha advises his disciples, when you feel physically and mentally exhausted, take a pause, remain mindful, and restore your energy. Perseverance in the journey of practice. Buddhism emphasizes that each step, no matter how small, is significant. Not giving up, even when the journey is tough, is how you plant seeds of goodness and accumulate merit. Fatigue is a sign of progress. If you feel tired, it shows you're on the right path. No one feels exhausted when staying still. Fatigue comes when you're striving to move forward. Remember, resting is not about escaping, but preparing for the next part of the journey. The principle of slow but steady. People often compete in terms of speed, but true success comes from persistence. Even if you move slowly, you're still moving forward, and that's far more important than stopping. There's a fable about the tortoise and the hare. The hare runs swiftly, confident that it will easily win the race against the tortoise. But the hare grows tired and takes a nap along the way, while the tortoise, though slow, keeps going steadily. In the end, the tortoise wins. This story reminds us that patience and the ability to never give up are more important than speed. Even if you're slow, as long as you keep moving, you will reach the finish line. Rest to continue. Don't push yourself to the point of exhaustion. A good night's sleep, a walk in nature, or some quiet time can help you regain strength. Don't give up, even if you're going slow. Success isn't reserved for the fastest, it's the reward for those who never give up. Remind yourself. Rest when you're tired, but rest to rise up and keep going, not to quit. The difference between the successful and the unsuccessful lies not in their speed, but in whether they are willing to rise up after each bout of exhaustion. Don't let someone else's criticism make you think you are inferior. In reality, you are much more capable than you think. There are people more talented than you, but there are also many who are not as skilled as you. This is a timeless message that encourages self-respect, confidence, and a fair assessment of your own value. Don't let criticism define your worth. Criticism often does not reflect your true abilities. Sometimes, it's merely the subjective opinion of others. If you allow such remarks to shake your self-respect, you will limit yourself. Example: Thomas Edison was once told by a teacher that he was too dimwit to learn anything. Instead of being discouraged, he persisted, and went on to become one of the greatest inventors in history. Positive comparison, not negative. In life, there will always be people more talented than you, and others who are not as skilled. What matters is not competing with others, but improving yourself every day. You don't need to be better than anyone, just better than your past self. Example: a runner doesn't necessarily have to come first, they just need to beat their previous personal best times. Equality of mind and self-acceptance. Buddhism teaches that everyone has intrinsic value. No one is inherently better or worse than others. Comparison often leads to suffering because it nurtures arrogance or inferiority. In the Anguttara Nikaya, the Buddha says, "Do not seek perfection in others or in yourself, but accept your true self and aim for growth." Confidence in your Buddha nature. Every person has the potential for enlightenment and growth. Don't let criticism extinguish that inner light. Remember, you alone are responsible for your own development. Criticism is not absolute truth. What others say about you often comes from their perspective and personal biases, not the full truth about who you are. Learn to differentiate between constructive feedback and unreasonable criticism. Example: a new musician may receive criticism for their composition. This does not mean they lack talent. It could simply be because the audience's tastes are different. Your value lies in effort, not comparison. Success doesn't come from surpassing others, but from confronting challenges and striving. Everyone has their own journey, and no one can replace you on that path. There's a story about a precious stone and a blacksmith. A precious stone was thrown into a corner, stepped on by many, and dismissed as worthless. One day, a blacksmith picked it up, cleaned off the dust, and discovered it was a rare gem. The blacksmith said, "Your value is not defined by the criticisms you've faced, but by your inherent nature." This story reminds us that your value does not change because of others' opinions. It is only when you realize your true potential that your worth is revealed. You are more capable than you think. Don't let criticism diminish your self-belief. Everything you have done, every effort you've made, is the clearest proof of your abilities. Assess yourself fairly. There will always be someone more skilled, but also someone less skilled than you. This is natural and does not diminish your value. Remember, you don't need to be perfect, just make progress. Don't try to be someone else, be the best version of yourself. As long as you trust in your abilities and continue striving, you will realize that your true value is far greater than you once thought. How someone else is better than you is not important. What matters is that you become better than the person you were yesterday. This statement carries a profound life philosophy, highlighting the importance of personal development and the continuous improvement of oneself. Comparing yourself to others is a vicious cycle. Life is a personal journey, with each individual having their own starting point, circumstances, and goals. Focusing too much on the success of others not only distracts you but also breeds unnecessary feelings of insecurity or jealousy. Example: in a classroom, some students excel in math but struggle with literature, while others are the opposite. Instead of comparing yourself to others, focusing on improving your weaker areas will lead to greater progress. True value lies in personal growth. Success is not about being better than someone else, but about advancing further than your past self. Every small step, every slight improvement, contributes to making you a better version of yourself. Example: a runner may not aim to beat others but instead focuses on improving their own time each day. This is sustainable and meaningful progress. Mindfulness of yourself. Buddhism teaches that happiness and suffering arise from the mind, not from the external world. Comparing yourself to others only causes mental unrest and fuels desires, aversions, and ignorance. The Buddha advises turning inward, focusing on improving your mind and actions. In the Dhammapada, the Buddha says, "To conquer oneself is the greatest victory, greater than conquering thousands in battle." Spiritual development and self-awareness. In Buddhism, personal development is not about surpassing others, but about surpassing your own limitations. Each day, you need to learn to let go of anger, selfishness, and cultivate compassion and wisdom. This is the highest achievement. Others may be better than you in one aspect. Someone else's skills or talents only reflect their achievements in a specific area, but that does not mean they are superior to you in every way. What matters is recognizing your own strengths and weaknesses, and constantly working to improve. Example: a colleague may excel in communication, while you might have superior strategic thinking. Improving your communication skills won't make you like them, but it will make you a more complete version of yourself. Shift from competition to growth. Instead of viewing others as competitors, see them as sources of inspiration to learn from. However, this doesn't mean you need to emulate them, but rather learn to improve yourself. Example: there's a fable about two friends climbing a mountain. One friend quickly surpasses the other and reaches the summit first. The other, though slower, does not give up and climbs to the top step by step. When they meet, the slower friend says, "I don't care how quickly you climbed, I am proud that I climbed better than I did last time." This story reminds us that success is not about speed or being better than others, but about persistence and the effort to overcome your own limits. Don't compare, just learn. Let others' success be the motivation for you to push yourself, not a measure of your own value. Every day, a little progress, even small changes, if maintained consistently, will lead to significant growth over time. Remind yourself, the you of today just needs to be better than the you of yesterday. Greatness doesn't come from beating others, but from mastering and surpassing your own self. As long as you stay persistent, you'll realize that your growth path doesn't need to be compared to anyone else's, because the true goal is to become the best version of yourself. If you make a mistake, correct it. If you fail, try again. There is nothing to fear. You still have a long road ahead and a lifetime to keep moving forward. This statement delivers a powerful message about perseverance, courage, and the spirit of overcoming challenges. It teaches us that failure is not the end but merely a stepping stone for further progress. Mistakes and failures are a natural part of the journey. Life isn't always smooth sailing. Mistakes show that you're trying, and failure is a valuable lesson for growth. The key is not to stop but to learn from your experiences and keep going. Example: Steve Jobs was fired from Apple, the company he founded. Instead of getting discouraged, he continued with Pixar and later returned to Apple, turning it into one of the biggest companies in the world. The journey is long, so there's no need to rush. Time is a precious asset, and you have your whole life to progress. Rather than fearing failure and quitting, treat every day as an opportunity to try again. Example, Colonel Sanders, the founder of KFC, was rejected more than 1,000 times before his fried chicken recipe was accepted. There is nothing to fear if you dare to face it. Fear of failure often holds people back. But in reality, nothing is truly scary unless you give up. As long as you maintain faith and take action, you will overcome all obstacles. Impermanence and accepting change. Buddhism teaches that everything is impermanent. Mistakes or failures are just moments in the flow of life. They don't last forever. Instead of clinging to them, let go and move forward. The Diamond Sutra says, all phenomena are like a dream, like a shadow, like bubbles, like dew, like lightning. A failure today is just a fleeting occurrence, not the entirety of your life. Karma and the ongoing effort. Failure is not the final result but a cause for future success. As long as you continue to sow good seeds, effort, learning, and persistence, you will reap a sweet reward. Mistakes are lessons, not sins. When you make a mistake, don't blame yourself. Instead, see it as an opportunity to learn. Example, a business person who fails on their first attempt might realize that their failure was due to a lack of financial management skills. From there, they will become more cautious and skilled in future ventures. The long road ahead is a reminder of hope. The time ahead holds countless opportunities to try again. Success doesn't have to come immediately but is the result of persistent effort over time. Courage to face failure. Fear only delays you. Instead of letting fear overwhelm you, face it head on. Remember, failure is an experience that every successful person has gone through. There's a story about a pottery master and his student. A famous potter once told his apprentice, "If you want to make a perfect vase, you first need to make hundreds of broken ones." The apprentice was initially discouraged by his failures. But after years of persistence and correcting mistakes, he made beautiful vases. It was those early broken vases that taught him all the valuable techniques. This story shows that every mistake has value if you know how to learn from it. Failure is not the end. Each stumble is merely a lesson that makes you stronger and more mature. Be persistent and fearless. Mistakes and failures are not as frightening as giving up. As long as you keep moving forward, the road ahead will always remain open. Remind yourself, life is a journey. Stopping to correct mistakes is not moving backward, it is preparing for a leap forward. You still have a long road ahead, so keep walking with faith and determination. As long as you maintain your resolve and keep trying, all difficulties will pass, and success will await you at the end of the road. May you always be confident, enthusiastic, and persistent in moving forward, overcoming hardships, and conquering yourself is a meaningful encouragement, infused with positive energy and inspiring strength. Confidence, the foundation of success. Confidence is the cornerstone of every achievement. When you trust yourself, you will find the motivation to embark on any journey, no matter how challenging it may seem. Confidence is not merely an affirmation of ability, but also an attitude of embracing challenges and not fearing mistakes. For example, a young person starting their career, though lacking experience, approaches each task with confidence, ready to learn and experiment. It is this confidence that helps them navigate the initial uncertainty and advance in their professional life. Buddhism and self-belief. The Buddha once said, "Light your own lamp and walk the path." This emphasizes that true power comes from within, not from reliance on others. Confidence is the beacon that guides us through adversity. Enthusiasm, the energy of life. Being eager to move forward does not mean rushing through life, but rather being ready to face whatever comes, whether it is a challenge or an opportunity. For example, a farmer diligently works the fields every day, regardless of harsh weather or poor harvests. This zeal allows them to not only overcome challenges but also to achieve rewarding outcomes. Buddhism and diligence. In the Noble Eightfold Path, right effort is a crucial component. It reminds us to continuously strive for goodness and to overcome laziness and temptation. Enthusiasm and positivity are reflections of a strong, determined mind. Overcoming hardships, challenges as opportunities. Difficulties are not obstacles, but tests that make us stronger. The key is not to give up, but to find ways to overcome them. For example, a mountaineer endures harsh weather and fatigue, but these very trials lead to the triumph of standing at the summit. Buddhism and suffering. Buddhism teaches that suffering is an inevitable part of life. However, by accepting and transcending suffering, one can attain enlightenment. Hardship does not aim to defeat us, but to help us grow. Overcoming oneself. The greatest victory. Victory over oneself is the most significant triumph. To improve daily, one does not need to compete with others but must overcome personal weaknesses, laziness, and fear. This is a quiet yet glorious battle. For example, someone wanting to develop the habit of waking up early may find it difficult at first. But by overcoming procrastination, they will discover more time and energy to focus on more important things. Buddhism and self-discipline. The Buddha taught, to conquer oneself is the greatest victory. This applies not only to daily life but also to the path of spiritual liberation. A young man asked the Zen master, "Master, how can I overcome the hardships in life?" The Zen master smiled, leading him to a stream and pointing to the stones beneath the water. Do you see those stones? The water flows around them every day, no matter how tough they are. But it is through the persistence of the flowing water that these stones are gradually worn smooth. This story reminds us that overcoming difficulty is not about opposing it, but accepting and persevering, adapting step by step. Confidence is the lamp that leads the way. Believe that you are capable of achieving great things. Enthusiasm and perseverance. Each small step you take today will lead to significant results in the future. Hardship is an opportunity for growth. Do not fear difficulty, for it is the means through which you become stronger. Victory over oneself is the greatest goal. Always strive to become a better version of yourself each day. Remind yourself, I may be tired, but I will not stop. I may rest, but I will not quit. As long as you maintain confidence and enthusiasm, the long road ahead will be a series of opportunities to affirm and shine. Finally, the most important thing we must remember is this: the journey every day is never easy, but if you know how to turn each challenge, each failure, into a stepping stone for your progress, you will discover something wonderful. You are stronger than you think. Never underestimate yourself because of past mistakes. Look at what you've overcome, the progress you've made, and be proud of the person you are becoming. In Buddhist philosophy, the path to enlightenment is not a straight one, but a long journey filled with challenges and suffering. However, it is these very hardships and struggles that help us attain enlightenment, broaden our minds, and increase our wisdom. Always remain steadfast in your journey, never give up, no matter how great the challenge may be. You can rest, but never stop. For with each step forward, you move closer to a deeper understanding of yourself and the world around you. Remember, what truly matters is not how fast or slow you go, but whether you are progressing each day. Success is the result of persistent effort and decisions to never give up. You may make mistakes, you may fail, but as long as you rise, correct your errors, and continue to take action, success will find you. The road may be long, but every step you take is worth it. I wish you to remain strong, confident, and continue your journey in search of wisdom and inner peace. Always remember, you can overcome any challenge, as long as you don't give up.